Terence Crawford will be fighting Israil Madrimov in an insanely stacked card on Riyadh season this Saturday. So it's time to do some predictions. Alright, we're here. Riyadh season card. Terence Crawford versus Israil Madrimov. Insanely stacked card, by the way. Crazy stacked card. We're gonna go through, do my predictions, and yeah, this shouldn't be too long. I'm just like, these are like matchups I think I can easily just predict. So yeah, let's go. First two fights of the nights are these fights, but I ain't gonna lie. I don't know who Steve Nelson is or who Marcos Rodriguez is. I'm gonna definitely check him out, but obviously I'm gonna see him on the card, so it's not gonna be really. But right now I can't freaking predict them because I don't know who either of them are. So yeah, and Ziyad, I don't know who this individual is. I'm gonna just be honest. So yeah. So first fight. Andy Cruz versus Antonio Moran. Andy Cruz, amateur boxing legend, you know what I'm saying? He beat Keyshawn Davis multiple times in the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? Olympic gold medalist. So far, you know what I'm saying? He's 3-0, one knockout. And he's played some pretty decent opponents, facing Juan Burgos in his first fight, guy 35-7, which is not that bad, especially for a prospect. A prospect usually would face a guy who's freaking 2-7, not 35-7, so it's not that bad. Then fighting Giovanni Straffin, 26-5, not that bad. Then fighting Brian Rodriguez, 14-2. Which not that bad. No undefeated fighters, but most freaking no one fights these type of guys at their no one fights guys like this in their first three fights. So he had somewhat of a resume already, because of his amateur background. You know what I'm saying? Amateur boxing legend from Cuba, which Cuba freaking pretty much owns Olympic boxing. I'm gonna be honest, in amateur boxing. But he's facing Antonio Moran. This is pretty easy to freaking predict. Antonio Moran losing this. Only reason why I have Antonio Moran losing this, he got knocked out by Devin Haney. He's just like, bro, his only knockout loss is to Devin Haney. How's that possible? Your only knockout loss is to Devin Haney. Yeah, you're not winning, buddy. He's not winning. But Andy Cruz should win this by either knockout or by dominant unanimous decision. Next up, we got David Morell versus Radovich Kalajdzic. I guess that might be how you say his name, but pretty hard name to say, I'm not gonna lie. But I've seen this guy fight. You know what I'm saying? You can see, look at the record. This is a very good guy he's facing. 29-2, 21 knockouts. This guy has power. And I did see his last knockout. He knocked out Sullivan Barrera. It was one of the nastiest knockouts I've ever seen. So this guy definitely is gonna be a challenge for David Morell. And I ain't gonna lie, if David Morell can beat this guy, then that really proves he's the real deal at 168. We could just look at this guy's record. He's fought some guys. He fought Arthur Beterbiev. Lost by KO to Arthur Beterbiev, but no one goes the distance for Arthur Beterbiev, so it's not really that crazy. This guy is not scared at all to face none of the prospects, none of the up-and-coming scary guys. He's not scared of none of that. You know what I'm saying? Facing Marcus Brown, then Arthur Beterbiev, and now he's facing David Morell, who's one of those guys at 168 that you have to look out for, and that Canelo is probably going to be having to fight soon. I ain't gonna lie. If he ducked David Benavidez, he's probably not gonna fight Morell. But I do think he probably beats Morell. Once again, David Morell, 10-0, 9 knockouts. I mean, we could just look at this guy's record. I mean, first he fought a bum, then he fought another bum, but then, I ain't gonna lie, this man's he's just been coming out, like, he's just been fighting anyone they put in front of him. Undefeated, 22-0 guy, beats him. You know, it's 26-3 guy, knocks him out. 12-0 guy, knocks him out. 28-2 guy, knocks him out. 15-1, knocks him out. 16-0, knocks him out. 24-1, knocks him out. 28-2, knocks him out. This guy is like that. And most of the time when he gets these knockouts, most of his knockouts are in the early rounds. I remember watching him fight on the Tank card, and he had like a nasty first round knockout. It was beautiful. So yeah, this guy's definitely one of those guys to look out for at 168. So I feel like this guy could even be a possible world champion. But even though this is a tough fight for him, I got David Morell winning by knockout. Next up, Jared Anderson will be taking on Martin Bakole. Now this is gonna be a good fight. I mean, Jared Anderson, 17-0, 15 knockouts, might be possibly the best, if not already the best heavyweight in the U.S. right now. I mean, we could just look in history at heavyweight champions. Lennox Lewis, undisputed, from the UK. Tyson Fury from the UK. Before, it was a lot of American heavyweights that was running heavyweight, but now it's mostly UK people running the heavyweight. I mean, this guy, Jared Anderson, I mean, he signed with Top Rank, so obviously they put him against a bunch of bums, and then they started slowly, you know what I'm saying, up in the competition, you know what I'm saying, 16-2, 22-0, 17-1, 21, or 24-2, 26-5, 18-0, you know, 29-3, 35-6, 32-2. I mean, he's faced guys like Charles Martin, who's beat guys like Devin Vargas. You know, he's fought guys like Luis Ortiz. He's fought guys like Anthony Joshua. I mean, this guy's a dog, and that is exactly a fighter you want to have Jared in the ring with, something like that. I mean, at 14-0, you really should be fighting guys like this. I mean, but even before this, he's fought guys 18-0. You know what I'm saying? 24-2. You know, he's fighting some decent guys. You know, 17-1. You know, he's not fighting that many bad fighters. I mean, he's faced some pretty decent names at heavyweight. So, yeah, that's pretty good for like a young fighter. Usually, a young fighter wouldn't really be having that many good fighters on his resume. Marvin Bakole, 20-1, 15 knockouts. I mean, look at the guys he's fighting. He's fighting undefeated guys. He's fighting guys with 40 wins, you know what I'm saying? He's fighting some pretty decent dudes. I think I might have seen him fight. No, I don't think I've watched him fight. You know what I'm saying? His only loss is to Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter, good fighter at heavyweight. Not too bad of a guy to lose to. But yeah, I mean, for the predictions, you know, Jared Anderson, he's younger, he's faster. Martin Bakole, you know, bigger, stronger. You know, he got a good jab. He does have a good jab. You know, powerful. A lot of people think that Martin Bakole is gonna win this, and honestly, I could see why. You know, he's gotten rocked by guys like Charles Martin. So it's not really that crazy to think that Jared could maybe not handle such a big, strong guy. But to be honest, I know BoxRec odds say otherwise, but most people are going for Bakole. I got Jared Anderson winning this fight by unanimous decision. Alright, next up, Andy Ruiz will be taking on Israil Miller. Let's look at, Andy Ruiz, former unified heavyweight champion. Andy Ruiz, 35-2, 22 knockouts. He's one of those guys that are like inactive, but if he was active, he could be something great. Like, this guy can really be something great. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot of people won't look at him like that. I mean, he's like, they see this chubby guy, but he's really like that. No, he's like that. I mean, just look at the guys he's facing. He's facing Luis Ortiz, Chris Arreola. I know Chris Arreola was on the back end of his career, but Chris Arreola, fighting Anthony Joshua, he did lose to Anthony Joshua, but he also gave Anthony Joshua his first loss by TKO. Beating Devin Vargas. His first loss was to Joseph Parker, and Joseph in this fight was pretty controversial. You know what I'm saying? People think that Andy Ruiz won. Israil Miller, 26-1, 22 knockouts. His last fight out, he lost to Daniel Dubois by stoppage. He's beat guys like Lucas Brown. He's beat guys like Gerald Washington. I ain't gonna lie, to be honest, Israil Miller don't really got that good of a resume. Just looking at it, don't really got that good of a resume. Two mediocre guys at best. Not mediocre, but two decent guys. Not really that good. Daniel Dubois was probably the best fighter on his resume, and he lost by TKO. For the predictions, Andy Ruiz versus Israil Miller. We got Andy Ruiz. One of the faster heavyweights, to be honest. Probably the fastest heavyweight up, in the division. One of the fastest heavyweights. Got some big power. You know what I'm saying? He throws some nice combinations. He's fast. Israil Miller, he's not really the fastest, but he got some power. Not really the best gas tank. The only fight I watched of him live was the Daniel Dubois fight, which I don't even know if that was his best showing. Probably not his best showing. But this is a pretty easy pick right here. I'm going Andy Ruiz win this fight by knockout. Next, co-main event, Israil Cruz versus Jose Venezuela. Israil Cruz, 26-2, 18 knockouts. In low key, I see a lot of people hyping up Cruz. Cruz is good, don't get me wrong. He's a big, powerful guy. Wait, not big, it's very little. Little, powerful guy. But I'm gonna be honest, bro. Israil Cruz is one-dimensional, bro. I'm gonna be honest. He's just what it is. He's a little one-dimensional, to be honest. And not really the best resume. He got a good resume, but not like the best. When you just really look into it. But pretty good resume for what I'm saying, one of these fighters that like 135 to 140. They never be having really the best resumes until they come and fight together. Except a guy like Teofimo Lopez. He has the best resume out of all of them. Better resume than Ryan. Guys like Ryan, guys like Devin Haney, guys like Gervonta. He got the best resume out of them all. But Israil Cruz, pretty powerful guy. We seen what he did to Rolly, knocked out Rolly. 15-1. Rolly's not really the best. He kind of had a cherry pick career, and then he got up to the big stage and got slumped twice. So Giovanni Cabrera, that was a pretty good. This is a pretty good fight, but this fight is controversial as well. Giovanni got robbed of a knockdown, and a lot of people thought Giovanni won this fight. This fight really showed like some of the holes in Cruz's game. It just showed that he's pretty one-dimensional. Only hooks and a few uppercuts, to be honest. Not really a jab. And next he fought a guy, Eduardo Ramirez, who's really, I ain't gonna lie, Eduardo Ramirez is really a featherweight. I don't know why he fought this guy. This guy's really a featherweight, I'm gonna be honest. This guy usually fights at super featherweight. But pretty good guy to beat, but just not a lightweight, I'm gonna be honest. It's just not that, But he knocked him cold. No, he knocked him bad. Gamboa, most of the top lightweight contenders have Gamboa on their resume. Pretty good. Well, not pretty good, but former world champion. I think he knocked him down like 3 times. Pretty good. And then the fight, obviously, that put him on the map. Gervonta Davis, he lost by unanimous decision. You know, a lot of people thought that fight was a robbery, but I'm gonna be honest, bro. If you know anything about boxing, you can watch that fight and see that Davis won. Not really clear, because I feel like he only won by like maybe 1 or 2 rounds, but I mean, you can just see that he won. It's not really debatable that he didn't win. I'm gonna be honest. Some of these rounds, most of the rounds he won were clearly his rounds. I'm gonna be honest. Jose Venezuela, 13-2, 9 KOs, 1 loss by knockout, which is tragic. I mean, we could just look at his resume. You know what I'm saying? Fighting guys like Chris Colbert. I mean, first time he got robbed bad. No, he got robbed bad versus Chris Colbert the first time. He got robbed so bad against Chris Colbert the first time. Like, he got a knockdown and dominated most of the fight. I don't know how he lost. But then came back, knocked him out cold. And then, you know, he fought De Los Santos, got knocked out. I mean, that's just what it was. You know, he moved up, you know, stepped up in competition and lost to a pretty good guy in the division. I mean, you know, then before fighting guys like Francisco Vargas, Austin Dulé, Dante Strayhorn. You know, not the best guys, but, you know, there's some guys. You know, Chris Colbert, former WBA super featherweight champion. Chris Colbert's debut at 135, and he destroyed Chris Colbert. But Chris Colbert's not the best. I'm gonna be honest, bro. He's not the best. He's not on the level of a guy like Cruz. I mean, he has more skill than Cruz, but he's not like as much of a threat as Cruz. But looking at it on a prediction side, you know, we look at Israil Cruz, pretty one-dimensional fighter, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't really use his jab, you know, he just hooks and uppercuts, but once he lands, you're in trouble. I ain't gonna lie, you're in trouble. You know, Jose Venezuela, great combinations, you know, pretty fast fighter, you know what I'm saying? Got some good power. Not really the best defense, and not the best chin, you know. His only real loss came by knockout. So I got Israil Cruz winning this fight by knockout. I'm gonna be honest, I just don't see Jose, you know. I feel like Jose is gonna be like outboxing him, you know, moving, outboxing, but I ain't gonna lie, he might end up, you know what I'm saying, getting a little tired, and then I ain't gonna lie, I just see Cruz freaking knocking him out. I'm gonna just be honest, that's just how I see it. The main event of the evening, Terence Crawford versus Israil Madrimov. I mean, we could look at Terence Crawford first. Terence Crawford, we all know him, 40-0, 31 knockouts. You know, pretty good guys on his resume. I mean, there's some asterisks, you know, next to some of these guys on his resume, but I ain't gonna lie, he's got one of those resumes like that are pretty good. I ain't gonna lie, especially one of the better resumes in this generation. You know, fighting, you know, undefeated Errol Spence, you know, and making them look bad. You know, fighting David Ebenesian, you know, Sean Porter, you know, Kell Brook, fighting guys like Amir Khan, fighting guys like Mean Machine, fighting guys like Jeff Horn. You know, he's had some pretty good names on his resume, I'm gonna be honest. I mean, not the best resume, you know, not on like a Canelo level, but it's a pretty decent, pretty good resume. But next, he's fighting Israil Madrimov. Israil Madrimov, 10-0, 7 knockouts. He's, you know, explosive, you know, big, strong, you know, fast. He fought on Riyadh season card and got a knockout. He's pretty decent. He's pretty good, not decent, pretty good. You know, being a guy, you know, is 25-0, you know, 16-3, 35-3, you know, 35-2. I mean, he didn't beat this guy, you know, it was a draw. But 14-0, 20-2, you know, he's not really fighting guys that are that bad, I'm gonna be honest. Even, you know, in his debut fighting a guy who was 10-2, you know, he's not like fighting pure bums, I'm gonna be honest. He's fighting some pretty decent guys. Looking at it from like a prediction point of view, you know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford, I mean, we already know, you know, great technically sound fighter, you know, good defense, you know, beautiful counter work, you know, great power, decent, pretty good jab, to be honest. His jab's low-key it's like he got a good jab, you know what I'm saying? He's just very precise. He's just like one of those, like, I would say he's like one of those guys that's like a master in the sport. You look at him, he's just good at everything. He's just good at everything. You know, Israil Madrimov, I'm gonna be honest, you know, he's powerful. I ain't gonna lie, he's powerful, fast, but he swings kind of wild. I'm gonna be honest, he swings wild. I feel like he's easily pretty counterable for Terence Crawford. He could catch Terence, and you know it could be a long night for Terence. But I'm gonna be honest, I just don't see that happening. I mean, only way I really see Madrimov winning is by like getting a knockout or something, like him knocking him out. But I don't even think you can knock out Terence Crawford. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think you can knock him out. Well, not that he can't knock him out, but it's not really like accurate that he's gonna knock him out. I'm gonna be honest. I got Terence Crawford winning this fight by knockout, and really cementing his legacy and showing that he's the new guy at 154.
Hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, comment down below what y'all see next. Put your predictions down below in the comments, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace. Have a blessed day.
All them shots, they left me holy, but I'm still holy. Ain't nothing changing but them seasons, Brody, I'm still holy. Demon scheming, read Ephesians, seen that I'm
still holy.
Jesus, heathen seeking, he the reason I'm
still holy.
In the dark, in the light, messed up, got right, in the day, in the night, no change, it's smoke forever. Midwest, East Coast, West Coast, up north, South Side, we up, the tribe. Nah, I thought it was 4 of them.
New members.
This message can't go back to the sender. Tour with the tribe, smooth in the mix, no blender.